guys, so welcome back to my channel. I do have a video on Chanel makeup products, okay? Now listen, you guys, I'm usually not super big on high-end products, but lately I have this thing of ordering high-end products from the actual brand website. And I know I could go through, you know, Ulta or Sephora, but you guys, when you order, especially like high-end makeup products from the actual brand site, the packaging, everything about it, y'all, is giving me life. So I will go ahead and attach a video I did for like an unboxing on Instagram, so you guys can get into the details of how this was packaged. But it is so cute. I'm just a sucker for packaging, okay? I will touch base on the product in a second, but let me get this open for you guys. So obviously when you open it up, it was a lot nicer than this, but it really has this nice seal on here with the double C's, of course. And then you go ahead and open it up, and then you have your makeup products in here, okay? It was just so cute. You guys obviously saw in the video, but it did come with this small pouch. Of course, if you go ahead and pick out some samples, I did get their mascara, but I also got their Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream in the shade 395 Soleil Tan Deep Bronze. Had to go ahead and get this one. And first of all, y'all, I didn't know it's been out for a long time. I just thought it was new, but it's been out for a minute, okay? And then I also got their Sheer Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid Sunkissed. Was the one I picked out, the Sunkissed version. So this is super cute as well. So I will get into, you know, how they apply on their skin, if it's worth the money, because y'all, Chanel is not cheap, okay? It's not cheap. It's super cute, nice look at, but it's not cheap. So obviously I want to let you guys know if it's worth your money, if the shade will actually show up on my skin. I'm super nervous about that, and all of that good stuff. So if you guys are interested, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and let's jump into this video because I'm super excited. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. I will put the prices and everything like that on the screen. The first one I do want to test out is the Soleil Tan Deep Bronze Bronzer. I already went ahead and applied my foundation on my face, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump into it. I don't want to do a whole makeup routine and then that way you guys are waiting so long. We're just gonna get into each of the items, see how they look on the face, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts on it. So with this, it does say on here if it has any claims. Everything on here is like in a different language, you guys, so doesn't say too much on here, but I know it has coconut oil. I know a lot of people were kind of complaining about that online, stating that the old version didn't have coconut oil. So if you do have oily skin, it may be an issue, which I do have oily skin. So I'll let you guys know about that. But yes, it's just a cream bronzer, okay? So they don't really have any claims on the packaging, but I will show you guys what the inside looks like. So number one, let me put this back on. I'm just so excited. I'm just ready to get into it. But this is what the packaging looks like, you guys. Super nice and luxurious, okay? And I do want to point out, obviously the first one that they ever had when it came to a bronzing cream was so light, and they only had one shade. Now they have this one, which I will show you guys what it looks like, and it looks dark enough to bronze my skin. But I still feel like, I don't know, I feel like Chanel can still take it a couple shades darker, okay? We should have about 5 to 10 shades to pick from. Even if they have 4 to 5 shades, that's something to work with, but only 2 shades. And I know a lot of people are darker than this. That's kind of crazy. So that's the one thing I don't like. I feel like they obviously have the money to create a whole line of cream bronzers for everybody, but they choose to not go too deep. I don't know why, but that's a whole different story. So I do wish they kind of took it a little bit step, you know, further when it came to their shades, because like it's not given. And I don't even know if this one will work for my skin, so we will see that in a second. But the next item I do want to show you guys is their Sheer Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid. And I got it in the shade Sunkissed because you guys know I love cream highlighters, you know, liquid highlighters, all that good stuff. So this is what this one looks like. So pretty. Also has a C on top, okay? Living. And I haven't applied this yet. I haven't tried any of these products, y'all. I've had this for about 2 weeks now, and I still haven't tried it out. So that's a lot of dedication, but I am ready to film this, see what it looks like. let's just go ahead and get into it, okay? So I'm gonna get a little bit closer for you guys. Now, you can go ahead and use this with a brush or a sponge. You guys know I love sponges, so I'm just going to use this today. So I'm going to take a little bit of this onto my sponge. And it's not as like super soft as I thought. You kind of have to get in there a little bit. But I do have a bit of product on my sponge. So, moment of truth. Let's see if this applies on the face, you guys, because I don't know. All right, so we're going to take this. And actually, let me zoom you guys so that way you guys can really see what it looks like. So I did go ahead and zoom you guys in a little bit closer so y'all can see, you know, what it looks like on the face. So we're going to take a little bit of this and just bounce it on the skin to see what this is given, okay? And right now it's not giving too much. So let me go back in with a little bit more and just really keep going over my face. All right. So I'm not seeing too much, you guys. I feel like on camera it's showing something, but in person this is just melting right in my skin. Like it's almost like it's my skin tone. So yeah, typically I go ahead and apply my bronzer first, and then I apply it and then I apply my concealer after. But with this, it's showing up, you guys, but it's just super natural, but it's not like giving me like that, if you know what I mean. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. I don't really see it on my skin, so that's kind of very disappointing. But it's like it's slightly there, but it's not as like deep and dark, obviously, as my normal products. So I'm just gonna add a little layer around the face, nothing too crazy, and then go in with my concealer and then see if I can build the bronzer up a little bit more after that, because right now with just my foundation on my face, you can't really tell where it is on the skin. Like literally, you guys, it matches my skin tone to the T. And I will say I love how it's not too creamy. It has a little bit of a grip to it, if that makes sense. So it still applies nicely on the face, very easy, melts right in, but it's not too like creamy. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit more and then go in with my concealer and then build it up after, because something tells me this may be a product where I have to go ahead, do my whole entire face and then bronze. It kind of gives me like a powder feel almost, because it is as light as my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, but it's not too deep, if that makes sense. So we're just gonna apply some concealer first. And I'm using the Pat McGrath Lab Skin Fetish in the shade MD22 to bring some lightness to the face. Okay, going back in with my sponge, I'm just gonna blend this in like so. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes really briefly before they start creasing with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. I'm just gonna set it today, you guys, not bake. Just because like sometimes I do wanna bake if I'm going out, but if I'm just like running like errands here and there, I just go ahead and set. So I went ahead and set the under eyes. You guys can see I'm a little bit ghostly. So we're going to go back in with the cream bronzer and just add a little bit more color this time and see if you can kind of see it a little bit more. So I'm taking a good amount of product. I'm just tap on the face. So I feel like now, obviously because I did go ahead and add my powder, you can see it a lot more compared to before. So I typically do apply my cream bronzer before I add my concealer, but in this case, y'all couldn't see it. So yes, so now you can kind of see it a little bit more on this side, obviously, and it does add a nice healthy glow on the skin. So it's not like a contour cream where like you're really seeing a huge difference on the face, but with this, it's adding a little bit of something, but it's very natural, you guys, on the face. So I'm gonna take this on the forehead, bring it a little bit lower, and I can see the glow, definitely. So hopefully y'all can see that. This side looks a little bit more glowy, youthful. This side's just a little bit too matte. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Add it on the cheeks to bring some glow to the face. Okay. And then we're gonna take some on the forehead. Now I will say it is glowy, y'all. That's for sure. It is glowy, but I'm not mad at it. So I will say it looks a lot better now, because at first I was like, yo, I messed up. But you can see it. It looks good. Adds a nice glow. I am super oily, so I'm going to go on top of this with my powder bronzer just to set it a little bit. That way I'm not, you know, too glowy throughout the day. Take some of my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush bronzer to set the areas that I did apply that bronzer to, just all around as so. But I'm not gonna apply too much of the powder bronzer just because the cream bronzer by itself is kind of giving me life right now. So I'm just gonna lightly set it. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm low-key obsessing over how the skin looks right now. You know, back in the day, I feel like my makeup, I used to look like I'm wearing bronzer, but nowadays it's just like, I love this type of look when it comes to bronzers. Like, it's adding a nice glow. You can see it, but it's not like doing too much. You know what I mean? I don't know. I love this look, like the natural glowy bronzy look. It's my favorite. So let's go ahead and set the face before we move on to the liquid highlighter, because I'm super excited about that one. So to add to the bronziness, I've been loving the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek cream blush in the shade Swerve. It is so good, you guys. It's a nice orangey color, and it just adds to like the bronziness, you guys. I love a good orange blush. You guys already know it's my thing. So I'm just gonna tap it a little bit over the bronzer. And I don't want to do it too much today. I just want like a little bit of color to the cheeks. So I'm just gonna tap this really lightly over. You guys can see what I mean. It just adds a nice color to the cheeks, y'all. If you haven't tried this, I'm telling you right now, it is stunning. Okay, so this is what the skin and face is looking like. It's literally like my go-to look, you guys. I love a bronzy, glowy, orangey cheek situation. It is just my favorite. So to top it off, we're going to use the Chanel Sheer Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid. I got it in the shade Sunkissed, and I've never used this before. I don't think I've ever used a liquid highlighter, but it was just calling my name because I love cream highlighters and liquid highlighters too as well. So we're gonna go ahead and just put a little bit. This is probably even too much. So I'm just gonna slightly tap my sponge into this and kind of just blend it on the skin first, like on the back of the hand first. That way I'm not applying too much. And we're gonna tap it just in this area. So I'm just gonna go back and forth. And whoo! Ooh, y'all, this is serious. Okay, all right. Make sure you use a light hand. A little bit goes a long way. But when you let it sit a little bit and blend it out, it gives you a nice sheen on the face. It is stunning. So I'm just gonna use a little bit, blend on the back of my hand, and just add a little bit more. But it looks so pretty. Okay, so when it comes to cream highlighters, you guys, they kind of give you like that wet look on the skin. This one sets down, but when you turn your head like this, it has like that glow. Okay, so it's a little bit different from a cream highlighter, but I'm still loving it because it does set down on the skin, which I really appreciate. So I'm just gonna tap this all over there and blend it out. Okay. And I'm gonna add a little bit more just for my nose. And I like that the pump allows you to just press a little bit and not so much, because the first time was a little bit much, but a little bit does go a long way, you guys. So trust me, don't overdo it. Okay, so this is my completed face. I love how everything turned out, you guys. It turned out a lot better than I anticipated. So let's go ahead and talk about both of the products. And the first one I do want to mention is a cream bronzer. So this shade, of course, like I told you guys, I believe they can come out with deeper, darker shades, but this is all I had to work with. And I will say it did a really good job. So typically I do go ahead and apply my foundation, then my cream bronzer, and then my concealer. But in this case, you guys probably couldn't see it on camera because it was blending so well into my skin, which is not a bad thing, because when it comes to a bronzer, you do want it to mimic your skin tone, obviously. So it was doing that, but you just couldn't see the difference on my skin. So when I did go ahead and apply my concealer and then I applied the bronzer, y'all could kind of tell where it was, you know, placed on the skin, what it looked like, all of that. And typically I do my concealer last just because I don't want it to start creasing while I blend out my bronzer. But with this one, I just kind of know how to work with it now. Apply my concealer first, probably set it, and then apply the bronzer. But I loved how natural it looked on the skin. It wasn't like super red or anything like that. It was a very natural, just chocolate bronzer, which I really do appreciate. And it does mimic my skin tone, which I do like as well. But I still think, you know, they can come out with a lot more bronzers, you guys. Like, this shade should not be the darkest one. Like, just keeping it real. And if you do love like that no makeup look, then you're really gonna love this bronzer, because I could just see myself now applying some concealer and just putting this on my face, probably a little bit of gloss, and I'm out the door. Like, it's a beautiful bronzer for the summertime. So I cannot wait to play with this a little bit more. But once I went ahead and set it with my powder bronzer and then set my face, you guys can tell like it's not as glowy as it was originally. So that's kind of good for me because I do have oily skin. So I don't want to be like, you know, super glowy at the end of the day. Now, moving on to the Sheer Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid in the shade Sunkissed. I really do like this one as well because I'm so used to like my highlighters kind of like being in your face, looking super wet, all of that. This starts off as a liquid, but then when you go ahead and put it on your face and let it set, it gives you a nice glow when you turn your face, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I have highlighter on. Like, it doesn't look like that, but it gives you a nice situation right here, like a healthy glow on the skin. So I do recommend this one. I believe they have one more shade below this one in case you do want a lighter version, but I just love how it looks. Like, I have makeup on my face, but it doesn't feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. It doesn't look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. It just looks like my skin, but better, if that makes sense. So I really do appreciate that about Chanel products. And then obviously, of course, I do want to try some more Chanel items. So if you love this brand, let me know some other products within their brand that I should go ahead and pick up, because I'm really interested now, you guys. I don't know. I love buying products from brands' website because the packaging, y'all, the packaging, the aesthetic, everything, I love it. Okay, so Yes. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts down below. But I love you guys so much. Make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.